can. So, but we're all good. We're all recorded now. So yeah, like I said,
I
it
don't
will
think
be a
that worked
brief
out very
call.
well.
Uh-oh. Somebody else is off the mute. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna mute MC. Sorry about that, man. All right, so let's get into it now. Tonight will be short, but there are really two main things that I want to discuss. If you were curious about today's price action, either listen to Sunday night's call where we basically said Monday no data leading into PPI and CPI, probably a nothing burger, and essentially that was what we got. If you were or even last week, I know we went over to a bunch of different times on how you can avoid trading that choppy garbage, because I'm sure there were a ton of people getting wiped out today. There was one actually pretty big trader who actually does pretty well, and he got wiped. So you can absolutely relapse during these types of conditions. I don't think anybody is really doing well trading the indices right now, and that's why I am not doing so. It's just not really in the cards for me at the moment. Can I identify some areas in which I'd be interested? Of course, but um, at this moment, let's just look at the hourly time frame, and you're going to see that there's just not much for us to work on here, right? It's really just been a retracement, grind up into the bearish order block, not create any imbalances whatsoever, and chop around the whole day. So to me, no thanks. We will get a data candle tomorrow, which is ideal, and hopefully that'll give us something to at least base some ideas off of moving forward. Now, of course, what kind of night would it be if I don't speak on the hot topic of the day? And that would be, our favorite meme stocks coming back to life. Now, look, I know I said this a while ago, but I said that I think the meme stocks are going to come back. And the reason why I thought the meme stocks were going to come back was because of the massive ranges that they all have, right? Not just GME, not just AMC, but everything that kind of ran during that time period with those insane ranges that we currently have. If we buy into the idea that price likes to retrace into discount, which we've all seen a million examples by now, then we can anticipate some pretty big moves on some pretty garbage names, right? And garbage, I mean company wise, right? But with that being said, I think this tonight's whole topic for conversation really is going to be based on and surrounding the idea of FOMO. Okay, I just want to be the first, and I don't want to be this guy. I really don't, because I would personally love to trade GME or AMC if the opportunity really presents itself to me. Okay, so what I mean by what I'm about to say, again, if you are doing it, I really hope that you do well, truly. But you do not need to trade these meme stocks in order to make money doing this. Okay, do not take all of the work that you've done over the last however long you've been here in order to kind of build and create your own strategy. Don't throw all of that away trying to ride this wave just to be a part of some Twitter community of strangers who really don't care about each other, because they've probably been bag holding this thing for about 3 years now, and they're probably all just fighting for break even. So that's just that's my biggest point here, is that do not feel as if you need to give into that FOMO that you're probably feeling right now as a result, right? You are working towards a skill that you can do for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter. You don't need short squeezes in order to make money, right? When you finally develop this strategy in order to get you to that next level where you're starting to see consistency, you really don't want to be in a position where you're throwing that all away because you want to trade, GameStop or AMC. And again, that does not mean, I'm not trying to say that there's not viable setups on these names. I'm not saying that whatsoever, bar none, because guess what? Despite all of this short squeeze, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that, if we look at, we can still use the same ideas that we currently have to play the trade. I know Redshirt brought it up today, but if we go over to GME on a 5-minute time frame, look what was set up, okay? What was the price run to take out this high? from low to your high. What is this? This would be a Mando model, which is just about complete. I think after hours we took it out. Okay, so I'm not saying that you can't use the stuff that you've already learned in order to trade this, right? Because you can. Look, if we were to go back over here and look at the weekly time frame on AMC, I'm sorry, not AMC, but GameStop. Look, can we justify that move? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we can, right? Here's the reason why I'm not totally sold on it, and I know I don't want to sound like this Debbie Downer, like, trust me, I'd love to see everybody in this make some money. I'm just trying to be a good friend, like I was trying to be on Marrow when we got that euphoric run last week, and I said, it's great to have a game plan just in case, right? Things don't only go up. We all know that, right? And those retracements, even if they're not that deep, if they take a while, your emotions are going to get pulled all different directions, right? And, as you see, and especially with earnings coming up, I mean, geez. And you see, I'm sure there were people who were, feeling that euphoria and didn't take care of business, and they, now hopefully understand why, having some sort of exit plan is a good thing, right? But to go back to what we have on GME, like, can we justify this move that we just saw? Yeah, sure. We got down into the discount weekly bullish imbalance, the last one, in fact, and started to take off, right? So after clearing these, right, we also created a massive bullish weekly volume imbalance so far, right? Unless we come all the way back down here, which seems pretty unlikely. But if we were to come all the way back down towards $17, close that up, then you don't get that imbalance. But I'm thinking that we're probably going to leave that open, as we are basically, or at a certain point, we're over 100% from where we started, or where we closed last week, I should say. Now, with all that being said, of course, you can look towards specific areas in which you think that there could be potential for a run. That would be relative equal highs, right? This would be relative equal highs. This would be relative equal highs. Why are these all relative equal highs, right? You see that there's that second high, right? That doesn't necessarily take out the previous high. What is that telling you? Somebody went short here at this blue line. And what had to have happened here? Somebody had to go short there again, right? There is no imbalances in between these two levels, and they're just, using logic, like if somebody had to go short here, their stops are resting above. If somebody went short here, their stops are resting above. That is double the pool of liquidity. And if we are buying into the idea that the market is algorithmically driven, right, and its job, or the way that it was coded, was to go get liquidity, that's its job, right? And if we buy into that idea, because I think by now, or I hope so at least, I've shown you guys enough examples of how effective this ideology is, then we can say to ourselves, okay, like, here are some targets that we could potentially look towards, right? But again, with all that being said, just note that you do have a couple bearish imbalances in here that still, even if we are to move up and above them, we kind of want to see a close above. And I know that stinks, especially when you're trading something like this. And that's, to me, just is kind of a reason why I feel like it's almost a little bit lower probability as a result of that. But here's the reason why, this setup, honestly, if you want my honest take, this is like a banger, right? Here's the one reason why I didn't trade it today, and I don't really care to trade it, and I'm going to show you why right now. Because if we were to go over to the monthly time frame, right, and the higher time frame trumps, as you could see by what we saw recently by NASDAQ, right, bullish imbalance on the monthly time frame, you had your bullish imbalance over here on the weekly time frame, and guess what, right, bearish imbalance, I'm sorry, shredded, right, higher time frame trumps all. Okay, now coming back over here to the monthly time frame, I just want to map this out for you guys and show you how we got into the monthly bearish imbalance right here. So far rejected. I know that we went above it in after hours, right? I don't know exactly where we are, and I don't even know how trustworthy Robinhood's price data is. So we'll have to wait and see. Whatever, it is what it is. But you do have two, bearish volume imbalances here. Okay. This is really what I wanted when I was looking at the monthly time frame. Do you see how close we are to this monthly bullish imbalance right here? Right? I really, really wanted to see that. That would have been the most ideal situation for me. I understand we are well above it, right? Obviously, with a monthly handle, and ultimately there's still 17 days on it, right? And the way that I would operate, at least, was just to make sure that we see some sort of, um, you know, um, close above these imbalances in order for me to feel really good about it. But again, here's just another situation where you look at it from the zoomed out perspective. We don't have anything, right? All of these imbalances that had occurred on the monthly chart have been filled, right? I know it sounds crazy, and I'm probably the last person you would have ever expected to say that GameStop looks pretty solid, but I'm just telling you how it is and how I see it, right? Again, ideal for me at this situation? Nope. I would have much, much rather preferred, and I know we were so damn close but didn't quite get there, but this would have been amazing. And now it seems very unlikely for this to happen in a short period of time. It probably would take a while in order for us to get back down into here. But at that point, I still do have
Those are easy though.
my
Oh, it's gonna take a while.
Are you doing the drop thingy?
Alright, sorry, I had to mute. Yeah, so, yeah, I really would have just preferred it to get down into here. That's my only takeaway. But setup-wise, if we were to look at this and take the name out of the equation, look at it, what are your thoughts? That's also a good way to look at these because, I know, you might see, oh, GameStop, it's a meme stock, blah, blah, blah. If you were to go back historically, this trades pretty darn true to the price action and the levels that we have instated here. For example, let's just go from the weekly only. Rejection, beautiful. Okay, a relative equal high back into that same imbalance. There it is again. Where is it? Bearish volume imbalance right here. Rejection moves lower. Bearish volume balance. So I don't care if it's a meme stock. I don't care what it is. Yeah, this still plays out just fine. Right. Whoa. Shoot. Okay. So that's just some historical data, and again, it doesn't matter what stock it is. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. Ultimately, just the grand takeaway would be these concepts work on anything. It doesn't matter if it's a meme stock or anything like that. I mean, the only thing that I really would say, I guess I really haven't tested enough of to be 100% sure in, would be penny stocks, and that's just because I don't think it has the necessary liquidity in order to move price on its own. I think external liquidity is necessary, right? And that would mean money from outside of the market come into it to move price, and that's why people get arrested for pumping and dumping stuff. You don't hear people pumping and dumping stupid, Tesla or Nvidia or anything like that. It's typically just those penny stocks that people are worried about. But again, just because I know everybody's going to be looking at this one as well, I'll just get it out of the way. AMC, sorry. But anyways, if you look at AMC, this is way, way worse than what you're seeing on GME, right? So could you consider some sort of SMT divergence possibly? That's a possibility, right? Where you have something in a relative sector, meaning the same type of move, right? You're looking at AMC and GME. If those were to be paired into some sort of, quote unquote meme stock sector, right? You have one taking out liquidity while the other does not, and you're starting to get some move. And you just note that you have a monthly bearish fair value gap here at $13. Other than that, let's just go through and just show the efficacy of what we do and our levels here. Retracement into bearish imbalance, rejection. I think that's about it. You got one more here as well. Hold on. Got into it, rejection, boom. Okay, and that was pretty much all she wrote on that AMC move. But you could see the difference between the two of them. You have AMC, which has since taken out liquidity from that initial crazy mania move, while GME has yet to do so. Got deep, did not quite get into that imbalance, and that's really the only thing that I don't like about this. But otherwise, no imbalance up here has been or I should say they've all been filled at this point in terms of a monthly time frame. Our weekly, we still do have unfinished business, but ideally this would have been awesome. I still think it can be awesome if price were to get back down there. Not so sure it does, but that's a possibility. Now, to build off of this, right? Even if you're itching to trade this, okay, right? Because you might say, look, I want to be a part of it. And honestly, it's not necessarily a terrible idea, right? If the rest of the market's not doing much and this is something that's actually moving, sure. But again, this goes back to what I was saying before on how you don't want to throw away the stuff that you've been working on for so long to be trying to jump on some wave and just hoping for the best, right? You don't want to be like those people on Twitter, because those people on Twitter have probably been sitting in this for 3 years now. Do you want to be somebody like that? That's not consistent or sustainable trading, right? So how do we avoid that? Right? You could still do very similar things to what we do on any other name, and just know that there is extreme volatility in this, and that will our concept still work? Well, I just showed you an example of how we worked pretty solid on a 5-minute time frame where you got a turtle soup move, and there's literally been multiple situations of my model that had occurred intraday, with the ultimate and culminating one occurring towards the end of the day and completing in after hours. That's what it looks like right there. So there's your 15-minute bullish fair value gap. There's your retracement down into it. Here's your turtle soup move or sweep of liquidity, and then there's your run, ultimately getting us back towards those highs, right? So you could still use this. Okay, here's another example. Took out that high with what price run? Low to high, discount retracement. Here's your bullish imbalance. There's your run for highs, right? So again, however you're trading, whether it's my model, whether it's something else, something other concepts that you've learned, maybe it's even something that you've put together and you're like, yo, I really like this, I'm feeling good in this, blah blah blah, whatever. Great, right? But you don't have to abandon those concepts just to get a part of the next big wave, right? If we believe in our model and we've seen how often these signatures occur, there's no reason for us to just jump into something when it doesn't meet the criteria on our chart, right? Think about the IV crush that you're going to get. If you're trading short dated contracts, you're going to get smoked with theta as well, right? And especially now that the range is enormous, right, you're also going to be dealing with that. So you still want to have well thought out and executed entries and exits for this in order to maximize on all the volatility that you're getting here, right? You don't want to be fighting for zero. That's a terrible mindset or game plan, right? You can't get down and immediately and then just be hoping to get back to zero, right? That defeats the whole purpose of that. We want to trade to make money. We don't want to trade to get back to zero. Like that stinks, right? So of course we want to catch retracements in discount of whatever our current price run is. That's essentially how the market works, and that's literally what we've seen 100 times today. Even if you wanted to break this down into much smaller Mando models that had occurred throughout the day, we saw this one, boom, okay, perfect. Now next, right? You can continue on looking. Boom, there's your discount. Oh no, we don't want to see this. Discount retracement, bullish imbalance, check. This is our overarching, but if we look at it from a smaller time frame or perspective as well, check this. Ready? Each time we've taken out a high throughout this, okay? We took out this high here with this price run, low to high. Okay, here's your discount retracement, and I'm going to just remove the overarching for a second so it's a little bit more clear. Here is a bullish fair value gap here on the 15-minute. Price gets into that fair value gap. Does it take out the low that created the imbalance? No, it does not. There it is. You never got stopped. You went red for a little bit, never got stopped. There's your run for our next high. Boom, done. Mando model complete. Now let's move over to here. Low to your high. Discount retracement, bullish imbalance, run for highs. Check. Dunzo. Here. Whoops. Boop. Okay, there it is. One more tap. Bing. Okay. Turtle soup. Holds bullish imbalance. Check. Run for highs. One more time. Okay, and we can just continue on. Low to your high. Discount retracement. Is it a bullish imbalance? Just our other one from over here. You got a little bit of an order block. Not necessarily an entry for me here, but nonetheless, model complete. Done. Okay, moving on to the next. Let's see if this one gives us a discount opportunity. It does not. Uh-oh. That stinks. Ready? Boom. Boom. Bullish imbalance. Not quite discounted. If you went from green that took out the highs, it would have, but I would understand, and I think it would be fair for you to draw the exact range that took out that high. don't exactly catch it, there's your run for highs, and ultimately that's where we're sitting at right now. But I guess the thing to take away here, and this is really my last point of the night, is that just because you see a run up like this does not mean you have to buy that, right? If you buy into the idea and you've done enough back testing and you've done enough studying, you will understand that price likes to come into a discount, and if that's the case, you're likely to get that discount retracement, and you don't have to rush into something just because you need to be a part of it, right? You do not want to fight for zero. You want to fight for plus, in the money, right? You want to be up. You don't want to buy this, watch this retracement go down, and then be jumping up and down to get you back to zero up here, right? That's not ideal, right? That's not being a trader. That's just you just hoping and praying that you're going to be a part of the next big GME move, right? And that's the way I look at it. Even if you don't want to scalp this and trade on a smaller time frame, go to an hourly time frame. Okay, great. And hopefully you have the what's the word? Well, I'll say this nicely, I guess, and don't take this the wrong way if you're a lady, but if you have the balls to play it on a higher time frame and a longer time frame perspective, low to your high, here's your discount retracement into a bullish imbalance right here, boom, gone. That's your hourly. Okay, now check this. Here's your hourly range from your low, start of the price run, to your high, no discount retracement, no discount retracement, woo. Okay, discount retracement, here's your hourly bullish fair value gap right here. Works on any time frame, guys. Lower, boom, there it is. Discounted, bullish imbalance, there's your run for highs. That's it. Works on any time frame. So it doesn't matter that it's just meme stocks, none of that. Throw it all away, who cares? If we buy into the idea and if we've done enough practice to back test this, we would have the fullest and utmost confidence in our model to work on whatever we're trading. And if that's the case, right, this is a big catch, right? You have to identify, okay, I'm going to be swinging this, right? I want X target to be hit. Or you can look at it and say to yourself, okay, I just want to scalp this. I don't want to be in too long. I don't want to be catching the bag or when things do turn around, right? But even if that's the case, right? Even if you went into it and said, I don't know if I should be trading this, but you know what? I'm going to give this bullish imbalance here on the hourly time frame a shot. It's discounted and it's a bullish imbalance, right? I'm going to give this one a roll, right? You know your trade goes bad here, right? Everything is still structured. Boom. That's it. You're not going to be sweating it because you know, okay, if it goes below that, then I'm probably just going to get out and cut my losses and at least keep the loss small and structured so it doesn't get out of control on me. And it's not something that I'm bag holding or I can't get out of, right? All well defined. That's the name of the game. That's all we can ever ask for in terms of trading something or just trading in general, especially something that's acting as if it's leveraged out the you-know-what at this point, right? So yeah, that was just the main point that I wanted to touch on tonight because I thought it was important. Yeah, sorry for offending you. Yeah, I muted him. Oh, maybe I just muted him on my end. Sorry, guys. I don't think I server muted, but anybody else have anything you want to add or anything like that? I'm gonna cut the recording.